Welcome back, everybody. We have your stimulus update for today, and a breaking one at that. President Donald Trump was just boarding Marine One to head over to Minnesota when the press got a hold of him and asked him about more stimulus payments for the American people. Once again, welcome back. This is your stimulus update for Monday, August 17th. Before we dive into President Donald Trump's statements that he just made about more stimulus payments to the American people, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, leaving the video a like. We are going to continue to keep you updated on the stimulus situation going forward. But more than that, we are going to be covering President Donald Trump and Joe Biden's debates. We're going to give you all the highlights and all of the important news that is occurring in the United States right now going forward and the world. Trust me, you will not regret it. So let's go ahead and get into those statements by President Donald Trump.
Any updates, sir, on stimulus for the coronavirus? Anything?
No, I think that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer should get back into Washington and they should approve stimulus for the people. We should give some of this was China's fault. It wasn't their fault. And we'd like to see payment going to the people, maybe PPE, but we want payment going to the people. We'll take care of the post office.
Okay, so he's going to go on for about 20 seconds to talk about the post office, and that's his first statement on the stimulus right there. He's going to make a second one. I'm going to show it to you in just a moment. But notice a few important things. He says, first off, there is no update on the stimulus payment. So if you've been hearing that they're going to go out and that they're sending $3,400 payments or something, it's simply not true. Yes, Donald Trump did tweet out, I have directed Steven Mnuchin to get ready to send out direct payments to all Americans. But he added that Democrats are holding that up. So that's the whole point. President Donald Trump is ready to sign a bill to send you more stimulus payments. He's ready to sign a bill that's going to give out more unemployment boost help. He's going to sign a bill that's going to give out more help to small businesses and research and hospitals. Steven Mnuchin is ready to pass this bill. Mark Meadows is. The Senate is. Senate Republicans. Many of the Democrats are. The problem right now is you have Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer who are unwilling to pass a $1.5 trillion bill unless it includes another $1 trillion to be directly given to states. That's above and beyond the $150 billion they've already gotten. That's above and beyond the $30.4 billion for schools in the CARES Act. That's above and beyond the $300 billion they want for schools in this one, all of the money they want to send to hospitals. And so at the end of the day, they're saying we can't pass anything unless it includes that $1 trillion. And so that's what President Donald Trump is talking about. He's saying Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer got to get back in there and pass something. And there is a $1.5 trillion bill that they have compromised. And in my opinion, I say they should just pass the bill and the Americans will vote in November. If you don't like it, if you're watching my channel and you're like, Vin, I don't even agree. I think that the Democrats should hold up the bill for that $1 trillion. Even if you have that opinion, pass the bill, and then the American people will vote in November. If we vote in Democrats, they're going to give more money to states anyway. If we put a Democrat president in, a Democrat Senate, and a Democrat House, which is already Democrat, they're going to pass more stimulus in November, December, January, February, and March anyway. So there's no reason to hold up stimulus payments to people right now. There's no reason to hold up unemployment money to people right now. We're going to vote in either a new government or keep the same one in. About 45 seconds after this, he picked back up on the stimulus payments and issued more statements to the press.
We will work with them, but we want money to go to the people that need it, and they don't want to do that. They just want to take care of the bailout money. They want bailout money to go to their friends that are doing a bad job running Democrat states. Are you worried that you have states that are losing a lot of money? They've been poorly run by Democrats for many years, and that's all they want to talk about is bailing out those states. That's unfair to the rest of the country.
So you can see there in that second statement that he's referring to the holdup as this bailout money that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Democratic leaders want for the states. Now, calling it bailout money is something that can be debated. Whether it's bailout money or not, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, it's definitely bailout money for their states and their friends. I don't really think that's important. The important thing, though, is that, in fact, the stimulus bill is being held up because one side wants $1 trillion more for states on top of all of the money they've already gotten. And the other side is okay to say $200 billion more. That's where the hang up. Now, President Donald Trump is saying that it's money for their friends and states that haven't been fiscally responsible. Many of those states and locations are democratically run, but there are some that are Republican run as well. So I'm not going to sit here and call it bailout money, but I am going to appropriate it correctly that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer want $1 trillion for the states, when largely right now it's unnecessary, especially because you can pass another stimulus bill in 3 months. We've been doing this already. This is the fifth one. We've already shown a precedent of passing stimulus bills when more money is needed. Why do we need to pack $1 trillion of money to states in this stimulus bill when in November there's going to be a new government put into place if the American people want that? And the Democrats can put how much ever money they want into the next stimulus bill for the states. Or the American people are going to say, no, we want more fiscal conservativity, and they're going to keep in Republicans. It just doesn't make any sense to hold up money to the people right now who need help. In my opinion, I will say that the Republicans waited too long to debate this. They waited 2 months to start negotiations. That's a problem. I have issue with the Republicans about that. I don't like that. I have issue that the Republicans didn't want to give any money to the states in their HEALS Act, which was at zero, but now they've raised it up to $200 billion, $250 billion. I have issues with the direction that Trump is going forward with the payroll tax cut. I don't think it's a good idea. The unemployment boost through executive orders. I don't think it's a good idea. So I'm not just one-sided here. I do think that the Republicans have some things that they need to look at and say, we kind of messed up in these areas. But right now, unequivocally, bar none, undebatably, the stimulus check to you, unemployment boost, hospital help, research help, more money to states and local governments, small business help is singularly being held up because Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer will not pass a $1.5 trillion compromised bill. Steven Mnuchin, the lead negotiator for the Republicans, said yes, he will in fact sign off on that bill, $1.5 trillion. Mark Meadows, lead negotiator for the Republicans, said yes, he will sign off on that. President Donald Trump said yes, he will sign off on that. Mitch McConnell, the dreaded leader of the Senate, will sign off on the $1.5 trillion bill. It is singularly being held up because Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer want $1 trillion for the states. And without that $1 trillion, nobody is getting anything. No stimulus checks, no unemployment, no hospital help, no state and local aid, no research help, nothing. $1 trillion for the states, not $200 billion, not $250 billion, $1 trillion more, or no one gets nothing. That is exactly what Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are doing right now. And like I said, whether or not you agree with them, and many of you might, in my opinion, maybe I might agree with some of what they're saying too, but it doesn't matter, because if you pass the stimulus now and you get all the help out now, the American people go to vote in 3 months. If we agree with those ideological values, we will put those people in power to pass continued stimulus bills to fund out that money in that way. But right now, we don't need that money in that way. Give the American people help and we will decide later. This is undeniable. This is the facts. Calling it bailout money to states, that's Donald Trump's bias. I'm not going to sit here and call it bailout money. Completely blaming Democrats? No, the Republicans have their blame too. But trying to say anything other than that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are the ones that are holding this up is false. They are completely holding this up. I mean, at least 95% blame on them, because everyone else is willing to pass it right now. But you could say, well, Vin, the Republicans are holding it up too because they're not willing to give out more money. But the Republicans are at least willing to pass something, $1.5 trillion of something. That's not a skinny bill. This is my opinion. If you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't. I think it's founded and based on factual evidence. And at the end of the day, even if you disagree with me, we go to vote in 3 months, and you cannot deny that if the American people want more stimulus, more funding, and more help, they will put Democrat leadership in. You cannot deny that. So pass the stimulus now and we will make the decision later. I think it's very reasonable. So when President Donald Trump is saying these statements, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer got to come in. They got to come back in. These two have to come back in. If they don't agree to this compromise, there's going to be no money given to anybody. We're going to have to wait until Election Day to see what happens. And on Election Day, they might not even get power. People might look at them and go, I can't believe they did this. They might vote Republicans back in. But if they do keep Republicans in power in November, I think that will be a highlight that, hey, we want this bill to get passed as is, and hopefully they will relent on it at that point. But man, why wait 3 months? There is no reason. But what are your thoughts? Do you guys agree with me? Am I far off on this? Am I missing something? I'd like to see your comments below. And once again, consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, coming along with us. You will not be disappointed. We will continue to cover all things stimulus going into the future. And then we will grow this channel into covering the political events of the day, the debates between President Donald Trump and Joe Biden, any of the important national and world news, and we will keep you guys updated here. Thank you so much for sticking with us. As always, I will catch you next time.